Quick disclaimer, this video is meant for educational purposes only. Everything I say in this video is my opinion.
Just to be clear, because I know this video might be a little controversial, this is not intended to be a hate video nor to rip on any individuals. This is just my honest review of this particular prop firm. You guys asked me to do this review on this prop firm. So in this prop firm, it's started by a couple of Instagram influencers. Whether or not these Instagram influencers are just marketers or they actually trade, I definitely am not going to weigh in on that subject whatsoever. Feel free to do so for yourself in the comments below. I'm going to be rating this prop firm on a couple of different categories using letter grades. The categories I'm going to be using to rate this particular prop firm is going to be the design, the easiness to find the core rules, the core parameters, the cost value, the amount of hidden rules, the weird rules, and a couple other things as well, the broker, how good it is, whatnot, the customer service, reputation, and then I'll give you guys my overall opinion of this particular prop firm. The first thing I'm going to be rating is the design quality of the website. So let's go ahead and go over to it. As you can see here, the Top Trader website, they have a pretty cool logo. I actually really like this logo a lot. They have a nice big text at the very beginning, password challenge, become a funded trader. Really like that a lot. They have a sleek looking site here and they have a nice bar here from TradingView that a lot of other prop firms have as well. And then over here, if you scroll down a little bit more, you can see everything is highlightable. That's a little strange. Their leverage is backwards, at least for now. This is an earlier version of the website. So it's the current version, but well, let's see if that changes in the near future. For now, it is backwards. This 100 to 1 currently means it's gonna be about 1% of the account size what you can actually trade. I'm hoping and assuming that's backwards, where it's actually you can use 100 times more leverage with your account. Not a big deal, just want to mention that a little bit. Scrolling down, I really like this a lot where they have the trading platform, download links right away. It's very easy to try them out for yourself. I'm sure you can try out the demo accounts with this particular broker. I'll be getting to how the broker is in just a little bit in this video. It has some more benefits on the homepage if you keep scrolling down, and a couple other images here showing how you can pay with different methods on there, basically just card and crypto at the moment. And also a couple of social media links that you can find right here, and then a couple of affiliate programs and other links at the bottom of the website. Heading over to the programs page, as you can see here, the tier 1, tier 2 evaluation, and also top tier funded. So as you can see, you can choose which one of these you want, and it will give you a little bit more information on how it all works. Of course, you still should really look at the FAQ. I'll be going to the most important things in the FAQ in this video. Don't you worry. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit more, and they have their chart up here again. I like that. I like how it's on both pages. It's very, very nice. Looks really good. Again, we're not going to look at the price or anything just yet. That's coming in just a little bit. They have their profit split payouts right here, all this information and just how it works to make it really, really clear. And they have how their scaling plan works. I really like that. It's so easy to find that information. That's really, really nice. And they have some other stats here, which I'm not sure how accurate these are, but just because this is just launched, this is actually the early version. And they said they already have 50 traders, 50 plus traders. They already have 95% happy customers. We'll be looking into the reviews in just a little bit. It's unlikely that's actually going to be accurate, but we'll see what the true numbers are in just a little bit. So overall, I really, really like the design with this particular prop firm. I think it's awesome. So 2 thumbs up for that. I'm gonna give them an A for design. Great work. This is definitely the best part of the total prop firm overall. Moving over to the FAQ, as you can see on here, they have different categories. I like this style of FAQ where it's really easy to find everything. So I'll be going into the FAQ in just a little bit, but it's really nice to have the FAQ laid out pretty nicely. And the last page is going to be the Contact Us page, which is going to be really interesting as well. I'll touch on all this kind of stuff in just a little bit, but as you can see, nice, clean, looking for name, email, and message. Very, very streamlined. I like that. So how easy is it to find their core rules with this particular prop firm? So as we already went over on the homepage, if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see most of the core rules. You can't find all of them. You can't find out if you can trade with EAs or not and anything on the homepage. Also, if you go over to the programs page, you also can't see that particular information on here. So it's not the easiest thing to find. It is missing some core rule information, just like those kind of things, but not a big deal at all. So I'm going to take off just a little bit of points for this. It is in their FAQ page, but so it's not the easiest thing to find. So I'm going to give them a B score overall, a B rating for the easiness to find core rules. So how good are their core rules for this particular prop firm? If we can see on here on the screen right now, they have very standard numbers. It's very average numbers for a lot of these metrics with this particular prop firm. They match the industry standard on almost every regard for the most part. They have a tier 1 profit target is going to be 30 days. And they're tier 2, or basically, I don't know why they're calling it tiers, really stage 1, stage 2. So stage 2 profit target is going to be 60 days. That's very normal for the industry standard. They have this very standard 10 and 5 before 10 and 5. Very, very normal stuff there. They do beat the industry standard just a little bit on the minimum trading days. They require a minimum of 7 trading days, as you can see here. In terms of the minimum trading days, they do beat the industry standard by a little bit. It's going to be 7 minimum trading days, which is a little better than some other prop firms that have 10, but we've seen a lot of prop firms now having 5 or even 4 minute trading days or none at all. So it's going to be lacking on those prop firms, so it's going to be a little bit competitive in that way, but not so competitive. The other main rule that isn't on this page is going to be whether they allow copy trading. Unfortunately, they do not allow any copy trading of any accounts on here, which is really unfortunate, and it is going to be a violation of your account. You do completely lose if they catch you copy trading at all, and it also says they do not allow any EAs. For the core parameters, overall, I was torn between 2 different grades, either a C rating or a D rating. A C mainly because they match the industry standard on so many regards, and they even beat it on one of them by having a little bit less minimum trading days, but a D rating because they have a couple other rules that are not seen as the industry standard, the EA trading rule, the copy trading rule, and a couple other ones that I'll get into a little bit later. So I was torn between the two. So overall, I decided to go with a C- for the core parameters. So we know their offering is about average, maybe a little bit lower than average, but how good is their cost and value with this particular prop firm? So we go back onto the website here, we can see the different prices for the different sizes of account. And this is something really, really interesting. If you notice here, usually the most expensive that any prop firm will charge is 1% of whatever the funded account size is. This is one of the first prop firms I've ever seen where it's more expensive than 1% for any category. So for this one, it's $275 for a 25K account, and that is by far pretty much the worst deal for any 25K account I've ever seen. That is going to be very different for the other ones. As you can see, it gets much, much cheaper as you go up. So if you run for one of the smaller accounts, it's really, really not in your favor. And I don't usually grade everything on those ones. I usually grade it on the 100K, but I wanted to mention that to make it really, really clear. In fact, the 200K gets much, much cheaper in comparison for that 1%. It's closer to around 0.5% for that particular one. So for the 100K being $625, that is going to be significantly more than the industry standard. And I really don't like to see that. So that is going to be quite on the high end of prices, even for the 100K, especially the 25K. So if you're going with either of those, it's definitely going to be on the higher end. So overall, I'm going to give them a D tier for the price. Now let's talk about the amount of hidden rules with this particular prop firm. So as you can see over here on their terms of service, which by the way, if something's only in terms of service of any prop firm, I definitely consider that a hidden rule. And sometimes if it's in the FAQ, depending on how the FAQ is structured. So, or depending on how weird the rule is essentially. So over here, we can see number 4, trading at a time of significant macroeconomic reports. This is a list of things that you're not allowed to do. So if that's a really interesting one, because if you go over to the FAQ, now we can see number 9, can we trade news? And this says we allow trading on any news event. Now that's a weird rule because it contradicts itself. Which one is it? Are we allowed to trade on news or we're not? It's not really clear because the terms of service says no while the FAQ says yes. A couple other ones we have on here is going to be number 10. Number 10 is going to be a little bit strange as well because this says, can I get another chance to if I fail the evaluation? And you think, yeah, most of the industry standard is that you'll get unlimited chances or quite a few chances. But for this particular prop firm in tier 1, if you finish in profit without making any daily loss violations or total loss violations while trading at the minimum required day, they will be eligible for 1 retry. And if you do the same thing in tier 2, which is, again, I don't know why they call it tier 2, it's really stage 2 or step 2, then you'll be sent back to tier 1, which would really suck that you've already passed tier 1 and then you pass and then you're up on tier 2, but you don't quite get it, then you get sent all back to tier 1. I don't like that aspect of it, so that's going to be a hidden rule in my opinion in that way, because it's also so much text to read. Most people don't read as much text. And then I talked about number 11, they do not allow EAs. That's not so hidden, but that is going to be an unusual rule, so I'm just going to mention on here as well the copy trading. And then number 14 is what the leverage they offer. So they say on the homepage of this website that they have 100 to 1. Again, I'm assuming that they mean 1 to 100. I don't know why it says 100 to 1, but it does. 100 to 1 leverage on the forex pairs, the following leverage on other instruments. So you only get that on forex pairs. For gold and commodities, you only get 1 to 200, or to 20, excuse me, not 200. You only get 1 to 20 with gold and commodities. You only get 1 to 10 with indices. Now, I'm a mostly indice trader, and 1 to 10 is very, very low leverage. So that's absolutely hidden because on the homepage, it says 1 to 100. It doesn't say which instruments necessarily on the homepage, but here it does specify it, so that's going to be a hidden rule. And crypto being 1 to 1, that's like, you can hardly trade any crypto at that point. They also have a rule that says what is a time extension. If a trader fails to hit the profit target in tier 1 or tier 2 before the allotted time is given, they can purchase an extension. So you have to purchase this. It's kind of interesting to even have it. It's kind of cool they have this as an option, but you have to pay more money if you want an extension on your tier 1 or tier 2 before the allotted time is given. So essentially before you expire in time, you have the option to pay more money and then you can get more time for the evaluation. Now, most prop firms will either just not let you do this at all, or my forex funds will give it to you for free. So it really depends on which particular prop firm you're really comparing this to, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But it does say here that a time extension purchase will eliminate your eligibility for a refund if you pass the evaluation. So normally you get a refund, just normal 100%, nothing extra, from what I can tell at least, on your first successful month. That's very standard in this industry. But for this particular prop firm, it seems like you will not get that if you do the time extension. The last thing I want to mention is over here in number 22. How long does it take to process my order? So we've seen a lot of new prop firms be able to integrate automation. For this particular one, it says that it will take 24 hours to process your order, but it can take 48 hours. If 48 hours have passed and you still haven't received your account, please contact us. So that's a little concerning, just that it says it takes so long, but hopefully we don't end up actually seeing that. We might end up seeing that right away once this prop firm launches. So how bad are these weird rules? We've seen other prop firms have a little bit worse ones. They don't even guarantee that you get funded even after you pass everything, you pass verification, but then their risk team or whatever says no, even though you pass every single one of the rules. We don't necessarily see it with this one. I hope that's not the case. I hope this isn't just gonna be another white label that does have that rule. It might. I definitely am not saying that it doesn't, but I haven't seen that myself, so I'm not going to be downgrading them anything for that. But because there are so many hidden rules and a lot of these rules are pretty serious, a lot of them will be red flags or reasons to not go with this prop firm if you knew at them. For example, if you were a trader, a crypto trader or a indices trader, and you like that 1-to-100 leverage, but then you realize you only get 1-to-10 or 1-to-1 with crypto, that is going to be a huge deal breaker for a lot of people. You're going to have to give them a D rating overall for the weird rules. One last thing I found that's really weird that these guys have done is that they have two different addresses. They have this address here when they get in touch on their contact page, and then in their terms of service, they have a completely different address. That one was in Delaware, this one's in Florida. So two different addresses, a little weird, but I'm just gonna mention that and leave it at that. So how good is the broker? Well, I actually am able to show you guys live what this broker looks like at this very time of recording. And as you can see right now, for USD CAD, the spread on this currency pair right now is a little bit more than a full pip. So it's about 13 micro pips or so on US CAD. And then if we go to another option such as Euro USD, we can see that it's going to be probably just about similar. This one's going to be about 12 micro pips or a 1.2 full pips. I also have a couple other screenshots that I took earlier. As you can see, these screenshots show pretty bad spreads. It's definitely not going to be able to scalp on these ones if you're going to see these spreads. These spreads were taken at a pretty unideal time in the market though, so keep that in mind. Their normal spread seems to be closer to around 1 pip. Usually it seems like maybe a little bit more than 1 pip, maybe a little bit less during London or New York hours. Going back to the website over here, we can see the live Bitcoin price. As you can see, the Bitcoin, I can't tell you exactly what that is, but you can see the price and the differential there. Do you think you can scalp on that? Maybe, maybe not, but that's going to be the Bitcoin spread on this particular broker. One last thing that I mentioned before we go into the actual rating for this broker is I went to the broker's website and actually asked, is your company working with the prop firm Top Tier Trader? And as you can see from the screenshot, Jax replied that we are not associated with any other brand. So it's also a little bit of a red flag there as well. It's interesting to see that they're maybe unaware they're working together. I'm not sure who owns anything, but this is just really weird to see these kind of messages. Not sure this particular agent was just not trained or anything. That's what he said. He said they're not associated with any other brand. So now the last thing to do is I'm going to be testing out how big the spread is for myself. So here we have the USD, CAD, UCAD. It's one of the major currency pairs. Let's see how big the spread and commission is when I enter on this particular pair with one whole lot. So as you can see, it was about $10 or so of immediate spread. And then we also have quite a bit of commission on top of that. That's really not something that I like to see. The commission and the large spread, not a good combo. So overall, how is the broker? I don't think it's the worst broker ever. I definitely think there's much worse brokers out there, but this is far from the best broker out there. Definitely worse than average, especially with prop firms. Prop firms tend to give a little bit better commission spreads on brokers. We definitely do not see that in the case here. So overall, I'm gonna have to give them a D rating for the broker with this particular prop firm. All right, now I'm going to try and communicate with their live chat and see how long it takes them to respond. So I'm gonna go ahead and click here. And let's see what comes up. So now to test their support, I have already tried this and I had to refresh the page, but I wasn't able to communicate with them the first time. But now here it is, it actually loaded this time. It says, we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, well, I guess I'll message them anyways. Hello, how are you doing? Could not send. So that's a good sign to see, but that's okay. I understand because the prop firm is so new. So hopefully they will be able to respond eventually. But as you can see, the customer support right now is not going to be there quite yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot better in the near future. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a C rating for now. I'm going to give them the benefit of that. It'll be better. I don't really know if it's good or bad yet, so that's what I'm going to give them for now. For the reputation, this is a brand new prop firm, so we don't have a lot of reviews yet, and that's to be expected, but it is a little strange. We have 2 reviews already, even though it hasn't fully launched yet. And as we scroll down, as you can see, they're both 5 out of 5 star reviews. We have these 2 traders here, both each with 1 review in total on trustpilot.com, and the person with 2 reviews in total on here. I'm not trying to say these are fake reviews by any stance. I will point out one coincidence between the 2 of them so far. They both mentioned the customer service. It's a little fishy when you see that kind of stuff, but again, I'm not saying that these are going to be fake reviews or anything. It's just a little suspicious that they already have reviews, even though it's not fully launched yet. To find out a little more information on if this prop firm is legit or not, let's go ahead and head over to Instagram. And as you can see, they already have 8 posts and over 10,000 followers, which is really cool to see so many people excited about them. And they have quite a few likes to back it up as well, which is super, super cool to see that. I definitely like to see that they have a pretty decent sized Instagram following already. There has been other allegations going out that these same Instagram influencers may own another broker. That broker I'm referring to is going to be KOT Forex, which I am not saying that they are officially related to them. I don't know exactly if they are or not, but I'm going to show you the facts of what other people are saying about this particular broker. This particular broker was started in 2019. It has 12 1-star reviews and 2 5-star reviews. We'll read all the reviews, at least the titles of them. Feel free to pause the screen at any time if you want to read the full reviews of these. And this is going to be on forexpiecearnum.com. We're the first person here, Chris, who said that I've been using them for over a year now. I've not had any issues in regard to withdrawing, depositing, or slippage manipulation. I highly recommend this broker. Great support team as well. So it's a really nice review from Chris there. There's quite a good reason for him mentioning all these other things here. These are claims that a lot of people, as we scroll down, that you'll see from other people. It's just going to be really interesting that he decided to mention that, and that's going to be the most recent review. With the next one that says trashed, how the review will suffice for a full complete review. Too many other brokers to choose from this one. The next one is going to be the most recent one that KOT decided to respond to. This says disgusting performance, absolute scam. Even on my funding talent account, they're scamming me. It's really interesting to see that there may be some sort of situation where that company might have been using them. It's a completely different prop firm, so it's just really interesting to see all that. It said just fake, candles everywhere, fake, everything absolutely gross. Stay away from this scam company. And this person, they did decide to respond to them, but they gave a really general feedback response. They said, just email us, essentially. Feel free to read for yourself what they said exactly. They also did say they're not affiliated with any other company, and they get their ECN, they get their prices directly from the market. The next one is crazy broker, should never use them. I'm not gonna read that one, feel free to pause the video for yourself. We got a pretty similar response from the company. This person said, so far it's been great. This is gonna be the second and only other 5-star review for this particular broker. And it says being traded on KOT for a while now, haven't had any issues. I've got an account with a lot of different brokers. Every broker had glitches or other problems industry-wise, it just happens. Haven't had any problems with this broker yet, which is really nice for that person to say, and they got a pretty similar response. Remember that our live chat is open, all that good stuff. This one is the one that is going to be accusing the same Instagram influencers of owning this particular broker in the past, at least, and going to be of the new prop firm that is in question for this particular video. Feel free to read this one for yourself, but in this person's opinion, they said a scam broker stealing money. Feel free to read this whole thing for yourself. This next one said, not a good company. I would not suggest anyone to use this scam broker, price manipulation, big time run. And this is another person who is insinuating that the same people that are running this new prop firm are behind this one as well. Again, I'm not saying that. This is just this person's review saying that here as well. Very, very long review. Feel free to pause the screen here if you want to read this whole thing. I'm definitely not going to be reading that whole thing that person said. And there's a couple more that I just want to go through. Crazy Euro USD bear spike wiping out my account. They stole me 15K. Do yourself a favor and do not trade with them. And then there's going to be one more page of a couple more reviews. This person said, Instagram influencer brokerage, don't join, bad broker. Read this review before you start with them. Again, feel free to pause the video on any of these on screen now, but this is going to be the review for a broker that may or may not be associated with these particular other Instagram influencers. Overall, for the reputation of this particular prop firm, with everything considered, I really hope that there's going to be some good reviews, and this may change in the near future. Hopefully, this whole video will lead to constructive criticism for this particular prop firm, and I hope this particular prop firm will be able to grow and become better, and hopefully maybe even be a contender for one of the top spots of prop firms. And so for that reason, I'm going to give them a C- for now. It may go up, may go down, depending on their actions in the near future. Overall, I really hope that the owners of this particular prop firm take this as constructive criticism. I'm only trying to help you guys and make you be able to get a better and better score on this. For now, I do think it's going to be a D+, but I would love to see that be improved as long as you take my advice to heart and actually make some improvements with your particular prop firm. If you like the challenge style of prop firms and you're looking for a better alternative, right now we have a couple other really good options in the prop firm space. For example, we have FTMO, my forex funds, the funded trader, the trading capital, and the prop trading. Those are going to be pretty much the top industry standards for right now for challenge style prop firms. If you guys like this series where I give my initial review with different letter grades with different prop firms, check out this playlist right here. I made a whole playlist dedicated to initial reviews with different prop firms. And let me know in the comments below if you guys have a different prop firm that you want me to rate with different letter grades. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.